Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samstita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namaha. In the beginning, beyond time and space, there was only boundless silence, the unmanifest source of all existence. From that stillness arose the eternal union of Lord Shiva and Ma Uma, the radiant flame at creation's heart. The Umā-Saṃhitā in the Shiva Purana unveils this mystery, a cosmic dialogue guiding the soul from ignorance to awakening, from bondage to freedom. It is not mere record, but a living scripture where Shakti and Lord Shiva, energy and consciousness, reveal the essence beyond form. To enter it is to awaken the hidden flame, dissolve illusion's veil, and walk the path where soul and infinite are one. In the forest where all sages gathered, the eternal flame was remembered in whispered chants and sacred fire. Beneath towering trees, their hymns rose with the smoke of offerings, carrying devotion into the stillness of the heavens. They spoke not of kingdoms or wealth, but of the hidden light, the union of Lord Shiva and Ma Shakti, the mystery from which worlds had sprung. Upon the snow-crowned Kailāsa, Lord Krishna beheld what the sages longed for, the cosmic form of Lord Shiva, revealed in blazing glory, radiant as 1,000 suns and immeasurable as the sky. His form was both fire and silence, storm and stillness, vast yet intimate, encompassing the seen and the unseen. All directions trembled with his presence. Even the gods stood hushed before that light. No throne of gold was offered, no kingdom promised. Instead, there was bestowed the gift beyond kingship, the boundless love that knows no end, wisdom deeper than oceans, and refuge beyond the reach of fear. In that vision, sovereignty itself was shown to the dust, and devotion the only crown worth wearing. Before dissolving into formless brilliance, Lord Shiva's voice resounded across the heaven and the earth, a sound that pierced time itself. Creation, preservation, and dissolution arise from him alone. Only through that devotion is this truth revealed. His grace embraced all. A single cry lifted lifetimes of burden. The strength was bestowed, liberation granted. The mantra, Om Namaḥ Śivāya, opened the gates of bliss. Yet, even the divine was veiled in Maya, illusion. Pride and delusion ensnared, but confusion became kindling, clarity the flame, and the path home was lit within. Sin arose through unrighteous thought, word, and deed, drawing souls towards the Lord of Death's realm. As dharma waned, suffering spread, yet redemption was near. Repentance, remembrance, and sacred rites loosened karma's bond. Offerings uplifted, truth and austerity purified. The Purāṇas, like the Shiva Purana, became bridges from bondage to bliss. The cosmos unfolded as a divine tapestry, continents, oceans, golden Meru at the center. From the source, Lord Brahma arose, the lotus seated. From his mind came sages, from his breath the Vedas, and from his will the elements. Life emerged, not of womb, but of divine intent. When chaos rose and the order of the worlds were shaken, Mahavishnu descended, not by conquest, but through sacrifice, through the offering of himself for the restoration of dharma. With each descent, balance was re-established, reminding creation that true strength lies not in dominion but in surrender to the eternal law. Thus, the rhythm of birth, preservation, and dissolution was restored again and again. Within this rhythm, kings rose and fell, yet dharma endured beyond the rise of empires and the fall of the dynasties. In the prayers of a mother, sparks of hope were kindled. Though her son was not yet born, his presence was shattered into the storm winds. And thus, where the Maruts brought forth fierce and radiant warriors of the sky, born from her longing and ordained to shatter tyranny. Even those cast aside by the world were exalted through devotion. The Lord of Death, Yama, was crowned judge of all beings, entrusted with the scales of justice at the petition of the sages. What had been weakness was turned into sovereignty. What was despised became sacred. From divine reunion emerged the radiant twins, the Ashwins, the healers among gods and mortals. Their touch restored sight to the blind, breath to the fainting, and hope to the weary. Where there was fracture, they brought wholeness. Where there was decay, renewal. Thus the cosmos was shown to be woven of paradox, from suffering, compassion, from prayer, power, from brokenness, balance. Every fall became a hidden ascent, every wound a doorway to grace. Trishanku, once a proud king, was cursed and cast down, denied entry to the heavens he longed for. Yet, even in his fall, compassion intervened. The sage Vishwamitra, moved by the king's plight, lifted him upward with the fire of his tapas. Suspended between earth and sky, Trishanku became a living symbol that grace can transcend even fate, and compassion can bridge realms. From his line arose Harishchandra, the king of truth. Tested by gods, stripped of throne, wealth, and family, he did not waver from dharma. He endured humiliation and loss, yet held truth above all else. Through his sacrifice, it was revealed that truth alone triumphs, and even kingship is sanctified only when rooted in righteousness. Generations later came Bhagīratha, whose penance shook the three worlds. For the redemption of his ancestors, he sought the descent of Gaṅgā, the celestial river. Through austerity and devotion, he won her grace. From heaven, Gaṅgā flowed, but so mighty was her torrent that the earth would have been shattered. Lord Shiva, in compassion, received her upon his matted locks, tempering her power and releasing her as a gentle stream. Thus, Gaṅgā descended to cleanse the sins of men, to nourish earth, and to open the path of liberation. From this sacred lineage arose Lord Ram, the embodiment of Dharma, the King Divine. In him, the virtues of his forefathers blossomed fully: Trishanku's humility, Harishchandra's truth, Bhagīratha's devotion, all woven into one radiant life. Lord Rama walked the earth not to conquer, but to show that righteousness endured through trial is the highest strength. And among the sages, there shone Mārkaṇḍeya, the boy blessed yet burdened with a destiny short-lived. Born of the prayers of Mārkaṇḍu and Marudmati, he was granted by Lord Shiva's grace either a son of brilliance with a brief life, or a son long-lived yet dull of spirit. The parents chose the child of light, and so Mārkaṇḍeya entered the world, radiant, pure, and devoted from the cradle. From early childhood, his heart was set on austerity. He worshipped Lord Shiva with unwavering faith, chanting the Mahamrityunjay mantra, the great hymn of victory over death. But as the 16th year of his life approached, the shadow of fate loomed. The appointed day of death arrived, and Yama, the Lord of Time, cast his noose to claim the boy's soul. Yet Mārkaṇḍeya would not turn away. With arms clasped around the Shivalinga, he clung to the very presence of Lord Shiva, tears of devotion streaming as he cried out his holy names. The noose cast for the boy fell upon both the worshipper and the Shivalinga alike. At that instant, the stone split with fire, and Lord Shiva burst forth from the linga itself, radiant and fierce beyond measure. The cosmos trembled, the mountain shook, the ocean stilled, and even the gods held their breath as Lord Shiva struck Yama down. Time itself faltered. For a moment, death was slain. At the plea of the gods, Yama, the god of death, was spared. Yet, Mārkaṇḍeya was released from the death's grasp and granted eternal youth. In vision, Mārkaṇḍeya beheld the dissolution of all things, the heavens collapsing, the stars swallowed by darkness, the worlds drowned in the endless waters. Yet, amidst the dissolution, he remained, upheld by the eternal light of Lord Shiva. And he understood, the world perishes, but the soul remains untouched. Thus, Mārkaṇḍeya became a living beacon of victorious devotion. To all seekers he declared, a single utterance of Om Namaḥ Śivāya, spoken in faith, burns all sin and conquers death. From sage Parashara and Matsyagandha was born sage Vyāsa, the radiant and the wise. In Kashi, a city in India, he worshipped Lord Shiva as Madhyameshvara, where a child form, Lord Shiva blessed him to compose the Purāṇas. From this blessing flowed hymns of liberation, bridges of light for all ages. Through sage Vyāsa, the truth was preserved for every age. So too was the goddess revealed, not merely as Ma Sati, the devoted bride, or nor as Ma Parvati, the daughter of the mountain, but as the eternal Shakti, the womb of all being, the force that upholds the world, the breath behind gods and mortals alike. She is the pulse in every heart, the silence before creation, the fire after dissolution. When the Asuras, Madhu and Ketapa, rose from the primeval waters to tear apart the universe, Lord Brahma trembled, powerless before their might. In desperation, Lord Brahma invoked her, the eternal Shakti. Brahmana Partita Seyam, Madhukaitaba Nashane, Mahavidya Jagadhatri, Sarva Vidyadi Devata. Dvadashyam Falgunasyaiva, Shuklayam Samabhundrapa, Mahākālī Vikyata, Shakti Trailokya Mohini. Invoked by Lord Brahma to vanquish the demons Madhu and Kaitapa, she arose on the 12th day of the Falguna's bright half, the Mahavidya, the great wisdom, the mother and sustainer of the worlds, the supreme goddess who presides over every knowledge. From the stillness of Mahavishnu's yogic slumber, she stirred. As he opened his eyes, she manifested as Mahākālī. Dark as the womb of night, fierce as a tempest, radiant as fire hidden in thunderclouds. Time itself quaked at her coming. With a single glance, she awakened Mahavishnu to action, and the demons were slain, their arrogance dissolved into nothingness. Creation breathed again. But darkness never sleeps. When Mahishasura, the buffalo demon, swollen with pride, trampled heaven and earth beneath his hooves, the gods cried out for refuge. From their combined radiance, Shakti again emerged as Mahālakṣmī, seated upon a lion, 1,000 arms gleaming with weapons, her face blazing with both wrath and compassion. The heavens shook as she roared, and the clash of her battle echoed through the three worlds. With every strike, she shattered delusion. With every step, she restored balance. The pride of the demon Mahishasura was ground beneath her feet, and Dharma was renewed. Yet, pride multiplies. When Raktabija strode forth, every drop of his blood that touched the earth gave rise to countless more demons. Armies swelled with each wound, the battlefield overflowing with shadows. But she, the mother, took a form terrible and sublime, drinking every crimson drop before it touched the soil. With each draught, his power waned. With each breath, his legions vanished. Not one seed of his arrogance remained, for she consumed it all in herself. When another demon, Chanda and Munda, the cruel lords of slaughter, advanced to defy her, she unveiled yet another form, the Chāmuṇḍā, fierce and unyielding, her laughter shaking the mountains, her fury burning hotter than suns. With one sweep of her blade, their tyranny ended. From her body, emanations streamed forth, Ma Kaushiki, Ma Matangi, Ma Ugratharika, countless manifestations, each carrying a spark of her power, each reminding creation that the Divine Mother is one, yet infinite. Finally, when Shumbha, the king of the demons, intoxicated by conquest, dared to claim that the Divine Mother stood alone and fought alone, the goddess smiled. At the Divine Mother's words, illusion was pierced. The armies trembled, and even the gods were struck with awe. From her eyes blazed suns, from her breath storm winds, from her brow a fire that consumed pride itself. The demon Shumbha fell not merely by her weapon, but by the truth of her being, that there is no second, no rival, no other. Her rage was never vengeance, it was mercy. Her sword was never destruction, it was release. In every battle, the Divine Mother's purpose was not annihilation, but awakening, to strip away pride, to dissolve delusion, and to restore the balance of the cosmos. She is the Mother who destroys only to heal, who rages only to redeem, who stands beyond all duality as the eternal womb, the unfathomable flame. This is the essence of the Umā-Saṃhitā, the soul's journey from illusion to truth, from desire to detachment, from death to Lord Shiva. Sarvamangala Mangalye, Shive Sarvartha Sadhike, Sharanye Triambake Gauri, Narayani Namostute. In the final silence, when voices fade and lamps flicker low, only Lord Shiva remains, the eternal witness, the unfathomable flame. Beyond birth and death, beyond all illusions, He dwells within every heart. To surrender is to transcend the cycle, awaken from separation's dream, and rest in the boundless ocean of divine grace. This is the final refuge, the sacred union where soul dissolves into the infinite light. Dualities vanish, and liberation blooms eternal like the lotus at being's core. From illusion to enlightenment, from the death's shadow to Lord Shiva's light. This is the journey home. Om Namaḥ Śivāya, the sacred mantra, the timeless path, the flame that burns all bondage, guiding every soul into the infinite embrace of the divine. May Jagat Pita Mahadev bless us all. Keep seeking, keep chanting, keep surrendering. Om Namaḥ Śivāya.